So, Bruce, by the time you come back, we'll call it the fall of 1992, Slaughter is by and large retired from in-ring competition. And for the next several years, he's largely off television, but he does appear on Saturday morning WWF Mania shows at one point. He's even going to be announced as the new vice president, with Slaughter and Todd Pettengill being very specific that if Jack Tunney were to vacate his presidency, Slaughter would replace him. I don't think that was ever really followed up on. Was there a plan for Slaughter to take over as the on-screen authority figure before he became Commissioner Slaughter in 1997?
Yeah. I think Sarge, lent himself to that, and he was definitely a consideration for that. Absolutely. But then, it was like we didn't really want a president.
What happened with the AWF? I guess there for a while
I don't know what that is.
Well, there was a little startup trying to. I think Sarge left the company for a bit to join this. Does any of that ring a bell?
No.
When Gorilla Monsoon stops appearing as the television commissioner or president, whatever you want to call it, how does Slaughter get the nod? Was anybody else considered? Or is it just a no-brainer? Hey, he'll make a fine authority figure.
No, it was kind of always the plan with Sarge. To step in whatever that authority figure was. And again, we weren't looking for another president. And Sarge was perfect in that role.
He's going to have one more match, at least high profile match. And it happens in late 97 in your house, Degeneration X. Of course, DX has been a thorn in his side as he's been the on-air commissioner. So Hunter Hearst Helmsley is going to beat Sergeant Slaughter in a boot camp match. That goes 17 minutes and 39 seconds. And you're probably thinking to yourself, boy, that sounds like a long time for an older guy. Yeah, it was. It was probably not Hunter's favorite pay-per-view match. Would you agree with that?
No, it's actually one of his favorites because he got to work with Sarge. And it was, it was kind of a big kick to be able to work with Sarge and especially do a boot camp match. Go
out of your way to watch it then. Let's all do Triple H a favor and watch his favorite pay-per-view match here.
His favorite one of. He definitely enjoyed working with Sarge. Sarge was a lot of fun.
Yeah, listen, a boot camp match, tell everybody a boot camp match, Sergeant Slaughter. There was one in Madison Square Garden that people are still talking about all these years later.
Pat Patterson, man.
That is the boot camp match, right? That's the one.
Yeah. Insane.
Sarge is largely written off TV at that point. We're no longer going to need that authority figure because here comes Mr. McMahon. But he does briefly appear as one of the Stooges in 1998. He's going to stick around in the company doing some PR. And we know behind the scenes he was an agent and a producer. How do you think he did behind the scenes as a producer for the WWE?
I don't think Sarge. I think that Sarge was much better served Sarge helped us identify new talent and help find new talent. I thought that he had a unique eye for that. First one that comes to mind is Yokozuna, that he looked at him and I'd seen Rodney in Alabama as Coquina, the Wild Samoan. Brought him in for a tryout, and it was like, he's just not a big Samoan. And it was Sarge. He's like, what if you made him a sumo? And the rest, as they say, is history. Sarge was one of those guys that was great for that one idea every few months that was like, shit, that was good. As far as, putting together matches, I can't really remember to say that, he was really great or not great at that. I think that his passion and where he was best, I think, was kind of like an overall contributor and on screen. But the other thing about Sarge was he was just a great guy to have around because of his experience and his temperament and his personality. I can't help but love him.
What do you think Sarge's legacy will be to wrestling fans?
Just Sgt Slaughter, man. He was like, in many people, when you go back, those in the Carolinas, those in early, WWE, he was the worst bad guy He was despised, but I think he was also one of the most, and arguably at one time, the most loved character in the history of the business. And his legacy will live on as being an incredible performer. And the only thing that, I would say is that where people are robbed is not having to, oh shoot, I'm going to sneeze, not having the opportunity to ever get to know, Robert Remus. And I'm lucky that I had that relationship and I was able to get to know Sgt Slaughter and Bob Remus, the man. His sense of humor is different, but great. I mean, it's like Sarge is Sarge, and he's a wonderful man. And I think that his talent is going to etch him in the minds of every true fan that ever studied the business and watched it, because he was the epitome of heel and the epitome of babyface.
And man, just such a big part of pop culture. I mean, not just G.I. Joe, not just the WWF, but there was a period in the late 80s where they were doing, even like back when Bigfoot was a thing, these big monster trucks, they would do a tug of war, Sarge versus Bigfoot. Like, he was a pop culture icon, and you can still catch him. He's making appearances almost every weekend. I'll even put you in the Cobra Clutch. It's fun to have an opportunity to meet some of your favorite legends that you grew up with as a kid. And I would encourage you to go out of your way to meet the real life Sgt Slaughter. Have I told you what I'm helping people with in my real life? Yeah, I'm helping them save money over at savewithconrad.com. If you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Go get yourself a quick quote. Interest rates have improved, and people are realizing, hey, now's a chance to save some cash. And I'm talking to you, if you're still on the fence about buying a house, we can get you out of that apartment, tell your landlord to kiss your grits, and get you into a brand new house. You can do that with 5% down, with 3.5% down. And yes, there are still no money down options available in 2024. SaveWithConrad.com is your first step. We're going to ask you, hey, where are you now and where would you like to be? And we're going to get you on a path to fit those short-term goals, but really meet the long-term goal that we all want. And that's to appreciate the American dream. The American dream isn't to give 29% of your gross monthly income every month until you die to some banker. No, you want to own that thing for real. Your own piece of land for you and your family, your legacy. And we want to help you get one for yourself at savewithconrad.com. You don't need perfect credit. You don't need money out of your pocket. And maybe you've already got a house, but it'd be nice if you could pay a little less. We're routinely finding a way to help our podcast listeners combine all of their debt, and I mean all of it. Credit cards, personal loans, even car payments. Get it into one low monthly payment. Not only is it a better interest rate, it's also a greater tax deduction, but maybe most importantly, a much cheaper payment. We're routinely helping our podcast listeners save $500, $600, $700, even $800 a month. But how much can you save? Find out right now at savewithconrad.com.
You guys, the housing market's really good right now, too, for you folks out there that are thinking of making a change in your overhead or your living conditions. Now's not a bad time to make that move. Nowhere better to do it than savewithconrad.com. He's going to save you money. He's going to be honest. And it's like dealing with a friend, an educated friend. And boy, there's a lot of uneducated and unfriendly people in that world. Conrad Thompson is not one of them.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, Jim. Check out our reviews online. You're going to see we've got more than 1,000 5-star reviews. Customer service is what it's all about. We want to be your mortgage advisor for life. So there's no application fee. There's no credit report fee. We just want to talk, man. Hey, tell us where you are and tell us where you want to be, and we'll try to help you get a plan to get there. We want to be your advocate, your humble advocate at savewithconrad.com.
Attaboy, Connie. Look at those cheeks, ladies. Look at those cheeks, ladies and gentlemen. My God.
How could you say no to that, right?
NMLS number 2129, Equal Housing Lender.
SaveWithConrad.com.